architecture uses ideas that renewed interest in the classical age of Roman and Greek ideas or architecture,
also focusing on being different and making something new and unique.
Hi, I'm Noelle. I'm the realtor. I'm asking these roommates what their interests are in a house that reflects the Renaissance.
We both want a spacious kitchen.
Yes, but more importantly, we want a house that will reflect the Renaissance.
I like Greek architecture, like pillars.
I love Roman arches, but we both hate Gothic arches.
I love Roman domes, and they are very spacious and very unique, but I know they're very hard to maintain.
So what location do you guys have in mind?
Well, we live in a small town right now, and we want to move to a city piled with Renaissance features, like Florence, for example.
We're tired of living in a place with no strong art, and we know Florence is piled with strong Renaissance art.
We want a place for all of our animals, like Chloe here, and Penny over there,
And all the other chickens in the coop in there. We want a house big enough for our dogs to play fetch in.
So what's your budget?
We're thinking $1 million to $3 million.
Perfect. I'll try to find a house that fills all your necessities. They want me to find a house for chickens, a big yard, and it's Renaissance? This is gonna be impossible. Today I'll be taking Emily and Brianna to the Santa Maria Novella. It's a beautiful church renovated into a home. It's a little bit out of their price range and doesn't have everything they like, but I just had to take them to it. Hey guys, here we are at our first house. It's located in Firenze, Italy.
Who are you?
Hello, I'm Leanne Alberti, and welcome to my well-known church, the Santa Maria Novella. Here I reused Middle Ages ideas to create this Gothic church. Gothic architecture makes man feel small.
Why would you do that? I'm already so small.
Gothic architecture includes these tall pointed arches in gloomy colors. And here we have Roman arches, which I heard Emily likes.
I love Roman arches, but we hate Gothic arches.
I incorporated these Roman arches because they allow a lot of support, which helps me create this building larger than life.
Do you have any pillars?
Yes, we do have some pillars in the exterior.
I kind of like them on the interior though.
I think we're looking for a home that is more welcoming and has more natural light.
There are also lots of paintings behind the altar, which make man look very godly.
I love the paintings, but it's all a little bit overwhelming.
I even use proportions. These proportions can be described as harmonic. This changes the way for future architects, who also use proportions into their works. I was inspired by the Greek's golden ratio of 1.618. This ratio defines what is naturally pleasing to the eye.
I don't hear any music though. You said it had harmony.
No, we don't have any music, unfortunately, but I also used my wide variety of interests to make this even more beautiful. I once translated Psalms for the Roman Catholic Church into Latin. I used my translating skills to use their findings into my work.
Does it even have a backyard?
No, unfortunately we don't. This is located right in the middle of Firenze, Italy.
That's not very good for us. We have chickens.
Obviously, this is the Roman Catholic Church because there is a ginormous crucifix right in the middle of the altar, as you can see.
How did you guys feel about the Santa Maria Novella?
I love how you found a house that incorporated Greek architecture. I really love the pillars.
I actually didn't mind the pillars, but I thoroughly enjoyed the Roman arches. I love Roman architecture.
But those Gothic arches were hideous.
I hated them. We are looking for a house that reflects the Renaissance, not the Gothic ages or the Middle Ages.
I was worried that would be an issue.
Yeah, and the location was an issue too.
Also, the fact that there was no yard was a huge deal breaker. We have animals we need to take care of.
This house is a definite no on our list.
Today I'm showing Emily and Brianna the Santa Maria del Fiore, or Florence Cathedral. I will admit that it's a bit out of the price range, but the Renaissance features of the dome that Brunelleschi designed will for sure make up for it. Where's Bri?
She has the flu.
Oh, that sucks. I hope you like this house enough to convince her. This is Brunelleschi's dome. It's in the Santa Maria del Fiore, the Florence Cathedral. He made just the dome, not the whole house.
It's ginormous. It's nothing I've seen before.
He made the dome just like the ancient Roman building, the Pantheon.
Maybe it is something I've seen before.
Hi, I'm the famous Brunelleschi. This is my dome, but it's not just a dome. It is nothing like you've ever seen before. I studied the Pantheon in Rome. I really enjoy studying the classics. They were a muse for a lot of my works. The Pantheon is not a fully covered dome. No dome had been built bigger since the Pantheon. Nobody had ever built a fully covered dome before.
How'd you get the commission for your dome?
I was the first to come up with a genius design that was well executed enough to get the commission. When I competed against others to make this dome, I wanted to make something nobody ever thought of. Something unimaginable. When I won the commission, everyone in the competition protested and said they could have done the same. They could have only done the same if they had my design. Little to no one would have saw my designs because I usually did not write them down because I was afraid someone would copy my ideas. Working on the dome, I could not work alone, but some of my other buildings, I could only work alone. I was so focused on my buildings and becoming the greatest architect. I came up with my own way to build a dome. I used an inner hemispherical dome with Florence Cathedral's octagonal drum. The second layer of the dome, which is an ovoid brick dome, was to be placed on top, and 9 sandstone rings would then hold the structure together. It is built with a herringbone pattern system with arch rings created for something unique and aesthetic. The herringbone brickwork prevented the dome from falling inward into the dome.
Did you use any machines to build this wonderful building?
I built machines to make this marvelous building. The machines I used were based off machines that they used to build the Pantheon. I made one machine called the ox hoist. It was a crane-like machine, but it only went up and down.
Is it an issue that it would only move up and down?
Yes, to move all my bricks to the top of the dome without being able to move it from side to side would be an issue. This machine wasn't perfected. I needed something better, so I built a new machine called the Castello. This one is able to move up and down and side to side.
Wow, is that all you used?
I also studied the Greek philosopher and engineer Archimedes' techniques to aid my works. I also used some of the machines he used, but made them so much stronger. Making this building, I also used the Pythagorean theorem, which was discovered by the Greek mathematician Pythagoras. I used these techniques to help build the dome.
So you needed to be really smart in math?
I had to have knowledge in many areas in order to excel greatly in my time.
You seem to think really highly of yourself.
My achievements are so amazing. The people of my time glorified my achievements so much that I was even buried in my dome.
Ew, I don't want to live in a building where a dead guy is buried.
Don't think of it like that. Think of it as I was so glorified by my people that they wanted to keep me around.
How did you feel about Brunelleschi's dome?
I loved how spacious it was, and I loved how it was so unique, so original.
Yeah. Was there any negatives about it?
He was buried in it. That was deal breaker.
Today I'm bringing Emily, sadly Brianna still has to flew, to the Medici Riccardi Palace. It's located in Florence, Italy, and is inside their budget. Here we are at the Medici Riccardi Palace. It was built by Michelozzo di Bartolomeo. Michelozzo trained under the eye of the Medici family. Therefore, his work is phenomenal. He created a new type of window that basks the house in natural sunlight, making this the top of the list for current buyers.
I'm really excited to look at this house. I've been waiting to see it forever.
Hello, my name is Michelozzo, and welcome to my masterpiece, the Palazzo. It is my pride and joy that I spent 15 years of my life to construct. I started it in 1445 and finished it in 1460, with the help of others, of course, although I did the designing of the palace completely by myself. The Palazzo is very different than anything else you've seen because it is located in the middle of the city of Florence. The citizens of Florence were very mad when I started my construction. They were angry that I was ruining their precious town.
Wow, that's a really long time to be working on a building. But how can anyone be so upset by this beautiful structure?
That's exactly what I thought. I think after I completed it, people actually saw it was helping their town and not so much hurting it. Now, as you can see, the entire palace is covered in my infamous windows, the semicircle. These windows have never been used before me, but I actually changed the way that architects build windows into their architecture.
Nifty. I like the idea of having original windows. I like that we'll have a one-of-a-kind home.
Out back here, we have a magnificent garden, the Boboli Garden. They have stone statues, vibrant flowers, and beautiful fountains. The gardens were added in the 16th century, but now they have their very own gardeners who work 24/7, so you don't have to do any sort of work. You are able to grow your own fruits and veggies here, giving you a very healthy diet.
I like the garden. It will be a nice place for our chickens.
We also provide a personal chapel, the Chapel dei Magi, for your very own personal uses. We have priests and nuns who are on site and are always
So
there.
what did you think of the house?
I loved the windows. I loved how they were so unique and they let light in. They just made the place look really warm and inviting.
And what did you think of the garden? That's personally my favorite part.
It was mine too. I loved how pretty it was, and I love how there's so much space for our animals.
Today, Emily and Brianna will be taking a tour of the La Rotunda. It is located in Vicenza, Italy, and is inside their price range. This is house number 4, and before we head to the stairs, why don't I tell you some historical background?
Sure.
This countryside house, or villa, is most commonly known as La Rotunda, and its structural building began in 1567. The Renaissance architect Andrea Palladio designed La Rotunda, using his knowledge of Greek and Roman history that he gained from working under a group of sculptors that brought him into the world of classic works of art. Palladio could not complete the construction of this lovely home, so another architect, Vincenzo Scamozzi, oversaw its completion. Palladio also designed many different fantastic villas, but the reason I chose this one for you is because of the space that isn't filled with cornfields, and it is open for you to use for your animals. The villa is located outside Vincenzo. I know it's not Florence, but Vincenzo is magnificently gorgeous. The drive to a job or in town to the grocery store wouldn't be long.
Vincenzo was actually on our list, but Florence was higher.
I do love all the countryside views, but we really like the city aspect of Florence.
This villa has everything you want minus the city living.
I'm personally excited.
Let's head up. I'll leave you guys to talk with the architect.
Hello, welcome to my front portico, or as you may call it, the front porch.
You must be Andrea Palladio.
I sure am Andrea Palladio, and I designed this villa in inspiration of the Greek Pantheon. I heard you like pillars. Well, on all 4 sides, we have symmetrical porches with 6 Greek Ionic ordered pillars, or pillars with sculptures at the top, used by the ancient
Looks
Greeks.
wonderful from just this side. I can only imagine what the other 3 sides look like.
Pillars have never really been my thing, but this is something so completely different.
For you, Emily, we have Roman arches on these porches.
I'm falling in love already.
How about we head inside? As we walk past the entryway into the center of the house, you can see this large dome above us.
I can definitely see the influences from the Pantheon.
Oh yeah.
I studied ancient Greek architecture under a lot of great art Renaissance artists, so I was able to recreate it quite easily.
Paintings on the ceilings? What techniques were used?
They were actually all done in fresco, which was very famous for its Renaissance painting. The paintings in the entryway show images from the original owner's life.
That's so unique.
All of the paintings were done by 3 Renaissance artists by the names of Battista Mezzana, Alessandro, and Anselmo Canera.
I love the way the lighting in here makes the paintings look so realistic.
The lighting is coming from a skylight at the top of the dome. The dome is actually on an oculus dome, which is a lower dome, which is directly inspired by the Pantheon.
They're both so similar. I love how this home screams Renaissance.
We also have an overlook, which is accessed by 2 spiral staircases right here. They might be hard to move furniture, but it's worth it because they're so beautiful.
They're really gorgeous.
I really like this villa.
How did you guys feel about Andrea Palladio's La Rotunda?
I really like the pillars and the dome part of it.
I loved the arches and I loved all the natural light.
There was a ton of Renaissance features, and that's what made me kind of fall in love.
Was there anything you didn't like about it?
I wasn't a fan of the unoriginality, how it looked just like the Pantheon almost.
I could maybe get over it, but that's another aspect that I don't really like.